we're good.
Okay.
Hi, Candace.
Hi, Michelle. How are you?
I'm so great. How are you?
I'm doing good today.
Oh my gosh, you look so nice. I am loving that top.
Yeah,
I am loving your jewelry.
thank you. You look lovely. I love those earrings you have on.
These came in the mail 2 minutes before we started. I had the island earrings on and I changed to put these on because I showed the castle. Did I show the castle earrings last night? I don't remember. I
I don't
had them in
know.
silver, but these are the gold ones. So they're nice and light. If that's ones you were looking at, girls, put them on your wish list for sure.
Oh, great.
But hey, so as you're jumping on live with us, let us know that you're here. As always, tag your stylist. I am going to just watch this also on the phone so that we can check for comments as we're chatting today. Looks like all is well. Hey, Sherelle, how are you? Okay, so here we are. We're back. If you were with us last night, then you know that I am Michelle Zito. I am here with Candace Carr, who is one of our fantastic area leaders in this team. And coming back to you today, hope you enjoyed the party last night. Hope you are sending your wish list to your stylist so that she can work out all the good deals, get your show booked, whatever it is that you were looking to do. And once again, here we are coast to coast, able to reach so many of you. So yeah, I'm here with Candace. She is an area leader from Washington, D.C. And right, you're right in Washington, D.C.,
Yeah,
right? Like
I'm
right in there.
I'm right in here,
Because
Northeast
one time I
DC.
said Washington, D.C. area, and Phyllis was specific to say, no, actual Washington, D.C. And I said, okay, guys.
It's a thing. It's a thing. I'm a Washingtonian. So
Proud
yes.
Washingtonian. So much cool. I love where you live. I visit a lot. So yeah, so here we are.
So Michelle, we're here today to learn a little bit more about Park Lane. Can you tell us why you decided on doing direct sales?
I sure can. You know, it's interesting because obviously when people have an income need, there's obviously a lot of different directions you can take, right? Like you and I were just talking about Target, right? I
Right.
feel like that's such a go-to for women who love Target, right? When they want to make some extra money, they're like, I'll go work at Target or I'll go work at Kohl's or like something retail related. Or maybe whatever field you're in, you can get another job in that same field with extra hours. And a lot of times that's exhausting for the amount of time you're going to spend doing that. Direct sales really allows you to work an entire business of your choice around the lifestyle that you're currently living, because that's really the issue, right? Time. How many of you, there's a infinite amount of money in the actual world, right? But there's only we all have the same 24 hours. Time is finite. And with that, we really need to make decisions, especially as women and busy women, as what's going to bring me the most amount of money in the least amount of time taken from my life, right? Taken from my family, taken from my other job, taken from whatever it is that I'm actually doing. So even David Bach, I don't know if you're familiar with, all of you are familiar with David Bach. He wrote the book called The Automatic Millionaire. And in that, he even wrote how he really feels like direct sales is the way to go when you want to expand your income beyond what your job is currently making available to you or beyond what is coming into your household currently, while at the same time maximizing that time for yourself. For me, like when I started direct sales, it was June of 2000. And at the time, all I needed was $600 a month to pay the COBRA. At the time, I was a teacher on maternity leave and we were on my health insurance. So that's what we needed, $600 a month. I hosted a party. The girl told me she made $200. So I was like, okay, well, does that mean that if I do 3 parties, I'll have the COBRA? So that's what I did. I bought a kit. I figured I'd give it a try. I did 3 parties and made $600. So of course my husband and I were like, oh, could we make $1,000? Seems reasonable. Just do 2 more parties, I guess, right?
Yeah,
So, and of course, fast forward to today, certainly have increased that goal many times, but, had a need, filled the need with direct sales, and here we go. So what about yourself, Candace? What made you decide to put direct sales in your life?
My mom, when I was a kid, my mom sold everything. So Tupperware, Avon, Mary Kay, Jafra. I mean, I was into the party scene life from like a young kid. So it was just
Wow,
a
okay.
no-brainer for me when I knew I needed some extra money. And be honest, I did work the other jobs. I worked in a bakery for a while. I was away from home too much. I worked at Macy's. I spent too much money. And I
I did that too. I did that too.
yeah, so when I started doing direct sales, it was me commanding my time, commanding my money, and really making an impact. Because I'll tell you my favorite part of this, and I'm just going to ask you that the next question. This leads right into the next question.
All right.
So, why jewelry?
Yeah, because obviously you're right. There's so many, you could do direct sales and sell literally anything, right? And it sounds like you said, your mom did it all. That's so cool. I definitely did not have that same experience. So you really got a good view into it. But jewelry, you want to sell a product that people love. That's number one. And if there's one thing women love, it's jewelry. Women are, it's one of the top 3 gifts given both to and by women. So even somebody who says they don't wear jewelry can often purchase a gift for somebody. So even if they're invited to your party or they're looking to make a purchase, it can even be for someone else. Jewelry is really almost a consumable in that it does come in and out of style. So there's going to be pieces that people like to come back time and time again to kind of freshen up for each season or each, at least next winter, we're going to add some new looks and things like that. So it really helps freshen up people's looks. And it's a business that, yeah, we used to, we were doing pretty much in home or in restaurant, in bar type parties. And then with the pandemic, we went mainly online. And now, depending on where in the country people are, some of the girls are back to doing some in person. The vast majority is what you're seeing right here, what you saw last night, the online party, which brings its own set of wonderful benefits as far as working from home, literally. And our job just isn't going away because of all of that. So it's a way to be involved in a fun industry and have fun with other women.
Yeah, that's what I find too. So I used to love the in-home parties when people would get dressed up. As soon as you put the jewelry on them, they light up like a light bulb. It's like,
Yes.
oh, they get a strut, they feel confidence. So I love that part too. Now tell me, why did you pick Park Lane?
Yes, because that's the thing too, right? It's like, okay, well, there's other jewelry companies. Why specifically Park Lane? So one of the things, if you're going to get involved in a direct sales company, you want to make sure that it's going to be a company that's still going to be here as long as you want to be here, and that they have programs that's going to benefit you, as well as, of course, the actual quality of the product and whatnot. So, of course, with our jewelry being fully guaranteed, we are able to really sell with confidence and allow people to shop with confidence. We only sell jewelry, which is why our pieces are always so on trend. They're not distracted with what about this product, what about that product. We're fully focused on jewelry. So that shows, the dedication to this particular product. Now, Park Lane really does pay like the highest in the home party industry. We both know this having done other businesses, when you were with other companies first and then you come here, you're like, wait, what? Like, it's almost double what I was making at my other company for just the personal sales, never mind the team part. So any of you who have a direct sales background will appreciate the next part I'm going to say. So a lot of times in direct sales, as you start building a team, like you have to have them in a magical pattern in order to get the override on like this part of the team or to go lower than this level. Park Lane does not play games like that. Park Lane, it's just, they pay you on everybody. And there's none of this, except them or besides that person and things like that. Because Park Lane was started in the 50s, with only a $3,000 loan. It was Arthur and Shirley were teenage, like bride and groom when they started this. They hired advisors, and all three advisors said jewelry is the product to go with. That $3,000 they borrowed from their parents is the only debt Park Lane's ever had. They have been in the green ever since that day, ever since they paid off that initial $3,000. And that's why they can pay the amazing, overrides to us and to do the amazing hostess program. It's one thing to say they'll pay us a lot, but in direct sales, only if somebody wants to make the purchase, right? But our program for this sale, who loves the sale? Everybody loves the sale, right? Then women aren't going to book a party if they're not going to be able to give their friends a good deal, which we know they will, but also they like to get, the freebies too. And that program is also over the top amazing. Mm-hmm. So all of those programs make Park Lane a fantastic choice. So then let's throw in the perks, right? So how often, Candace, do people say, do you have to buy all that? Like right. All your jewelry, but you don't, right? How do you get all your jewelry?
I get all of my jewelry. I get my rich rewards every month. I get, oh my gosh, I get gifts. I wish I could flip my desk so you could see the other side of Worms, where I have all this amazing jewelry, and a lot of it is brand new. So the perks are never ending with Park Lane.
Right? I mean, that Rich Rewards program, holy mackerel, that we can earn anywhere from $250 to $1,100 worth of jewelry every month. That is probably one of the best perks, because a lot of times in direct sales, people end up spending half of their commission on more product. And if you chose to do that here, that would definitely be your choice, because I do not do that because I don't need to. We have Rich Rewards. So when we want, even just now, like we have all this new jewelry that just came out. I know you must have redeemed Rich Rewards for a bunch of that, right?
I sure did. Look, I just got an email that said your package is on its way. I was like, whoa, yes, all Rich Rewards jewelry, absolutely.
Yep, right before this live, I opened up a $500 jewelry package that I had earned. So I wasn't able to show this last night. I didn't have it. This is, I don't even know the name of it, but the light
That's
blue.
The pier. I think that one is the pier in blue. Pier. That's beautiful.
Fantastic. And then, like we were saying, the castle earrings in the gold. The rest of it's all still on the dining room table because I didn't have time to open it all. We were like ready to start. So that's all money I didn't have to spend. The Mercedes car program. We have a Mercedes car program that you become eligible to earn at first level leadership, one person on your team, and then you can start working on it. So like that's something Candace is working on right now. That's something I've had for years. Many of the girls have. Most companies, you have to be some kind of crazy upper level executive to even be eligible, never mind to actually get it.
Right.
Nor do we tow it out of your driveway when suddenly you demote, because as we discussed, you don't ever go backwards here at Park Lane. That's another one that, again, our previous direct sellers are going to be like, wait, what? Because like when Candace promoted to area leader, that meant that she had 5 people on her team at that time. And if every single one of them had quit the next day, that didn't mean she had to go back to stylist. Every other direct seller, you would have demoted, you would have gone back to starter at commission, and that doesn't feel good, So Park Lane does not have all those quotas and all the like fear and the minimums and the takeaways and the punishments. We just don't do that here. So that 2 travel vacations a year, free beautiful vacations that you can earn. I mean, the perks, I feel like, did I miss anything?
No, I mean, the only next question is why now? Why would now be a great time to join Park Lane?
I mean, why now? Because if you're watching, you're probably thinking about it, right? Like you're probably thinking, I wonder if I could give this a try. I wonder if I would be good at this. Some of you, this is maybe the 3rd or 4th time you've watched a very similar, event like this. And you're like, oh, she said that last time. Yeah, because you're sitting on a fence. That's so uncomfortable. Get off the fence. That's a terrible, terrible place to be. Because here's the bottom line, girls. The kit is $99. For $99, you're receiving $500 worth of jewelry. So right there, we already don't even need to further discuss that you can't be losing out because the kit is worth more than you're paying. But of course, we'll take it next step because you don't even have to pay the $99 yet. If you're thinking that you want to try the business, then the best course of action is to simply book a party with your stylist if you don't already have one set up. Some of you might have a show sitting there ready to go. And in that case, in either case, that is your launch party. So if Candace is my recruit, she's sadly not my personal recruit, but she is on the team, of course. But if I just met Candace and she said, I think I want to try the business, then what I would be doing is booking a launch party with her. Same as every party you've ever attended. We're going to wow your friends and family. The difference is that I am working for Candace. I am working for that new recruit to wow her friends and family with the jewelry, to gather up all the orders that she needs. Because guess what? At the end of that party, instead of only redeeming for free jewelry the way a hostess does, you get to keep the paycheck. So that means if you already did a party with your stylist and you're like kind of to the point where, oh, we're almost done, you can say, I want this to be my launch party. And then every show that's booked from your party is yours to continue on with your business. The paycheck that's going to be coming on that party, the computer is going to send it to you instead of to your stylist, and she will get the different pay that you get as an override. So how can you possibly lose when you're going to be told what the paycheck is before you pay the $99? Right before this, I did this Q&A in a different party group because we're doing this in each of the groups. And I was chatting with Amanda, who she's actually not even that far from you. But she is a personal recruit of mine. And she remembered that her launch party paycheck was $320. That's pretty amazing. So when she laid out the 99, she was already well over $200 in the green. Mm-hmm. So that's pretty amazing. Now, as we're kind of wrapping it up here, we do want to, if you have any questions, and I meant to say that at the beginning, certainly put them in the chat. I don't know. Let's see how we're going to scroll the chat right here. Stacy, we do see your comments. Yes, absolutely. Okay. Yeah. Nodes, emotions. Okay. Are there bigger kits? There are bigger kits, Stacy, and we can definitely share those with you. There's a kit that gives you $1,000 in jewelry, and it continues up from there. Sometimes people choose to stick with that $99 kit because you can spend the extra money on placing an order on your launch party and then take advantage of the sale and have that part of your commission. So we can kind of go over that with you to see what might be the best course of action. But there are bigger kits as well. Yes. So we have a couple of additional prizes that we're going to do from this Q&A. One is that when we do all the final prizes, we are going to pick a winner of a jewelry piece from those of you that are commenting and asking questions in this live. So this gets its own private prize, the questions and comments on here. So if you're watching the replay, of course, put your comments and questions here because your question is just as important to us as everybody that's on here live. We know that lots of you will watch a replay. The second prize is the grand prize, again, exclusive to this part of the party. And that is, hopefully some of you are saying to yourself, you know what? I am going to give it a try. You know what? The time is now. And if that's the case, then let your stylist know that you want to book a party that's going to be your launch party, or let her know that the party you already have open is going to be your launch party. And if that's the case, you're going into a raffle for your starter kit to be free. Wow. All right. So that means that we'll do that launch party for you. Whoever your leader or your stylist is going to do that launch party for you. And when it's time to send that in and it's time to buy your kit, we will not be asking for your credit card number because we will put my credit card number in, and you will get a free business kit, which means that whatever the paycheck is on your launch party that is free and scot clear because you will not have to buy your kit. Okay. So I'm super excited about that. I hope that we have lots of people duking it out for the free kit.
Yeah.
But stylists, as people's launch parties are booked with you, or if a party that's already on, your schedule is a launch party, make sure you put the date and the name, tag them in here so that we put them in that launch party free kit raffle. And of course, all the questions and comments, I'm going to be picking a prize from there as well. It looks like, I feel like we got to the questions, but of course we're going to check back, and any questions that are added on, we will come back and answer in the comments, of course. So Candace, thanks so much for taking some time out of your day. Candace is one of the many, many people on our team that runs her business alongside being a mom and her full-time job. And she squeezed this in. Same thing, the one before this, Amanda was like, I said, where are you? She's like, in the back room at my job. She was in the back room at her job. So she went and ate her lunch when we were done. Just so amazing how flexible it is, would you say?
Absolutely. It's just been a pleasure for me, adding so much to my life. So I'm looking forward to all of our new teammates that are going to come on board.
Me too. Well, if you have any questions, Candace and I will check back to the comments, and you can certainly reach out to the stylist that you are working with on this party with your questions as well. And we look forward to giving away all the fun prizes from this event. Have a great rest of the day, everyone. Have a great day, Candace.
You too. Thanks, Michelle.
Bye.